Demo of REST here. We're going to go through various iteration videos. This is iteration 1, where we're going to start with building an API prototype. And we've been tasked with building a financial prototype that can have many portfolios, and in each portfolio it can have many stocks. So let's get started. I'm going to pick financial API, and we're going to say a portfolio can have many stocks, and we can have many portfolios. And I don't have anything to import, no OpenAPI or Postman, so let's just add the project. So we're going to jump right in. Let's add our first path, portfolios, because we want to be able to, our API, to return our list of portfolios. And we're going to be a collection because there's many portfolios, not a single. And I'm going to add, I don't have my resource created yet, so I'm going to enter the JSON in. I can go over here and graphically create the resource if I don't want to deal with JSON, and then save it and come back here. But let's do the JSON approach first to get a feel for it. So we're going to create our first portfolio by describing it, and we're going to call it my tech stocks. Whoops, there we go. And we're going to give it a description and say a list are all my favorite tech stocks. Whoops. So this is our path. We've entered our JSON for the resource. Let's do it. So the path is being created. This is being sent out. And as we create this path on the back end, seamlessly a database is being created for portfolios. So if I click on this database, you'll see there's our collection or table that contains all the portfolios. I can come in here and add another one for sample data. Let's say I'll create another one here called my dividend stocks, and it'll say all my favorite dividend stocks. Okay, we have our data in there. There we go. So we now have two portfolios in there to work with. So right away, because my portfolio path is created, I can even give this a little try to see what it feels like. So I'm going to click Try API, and we use Swagger UI to be able to use the client, but you can use anything, any client, Postman, or what have you. This is just something that's nice and built in. The authorized keys are sent for you. We just click this, and we'll click authorize. And now I can come in, and you'll see, click try it out, execute, and you'll see there's my two portfolios. And you'll see this is a real statement, curls right to API REST point, portfolios, and you'll see API key and the project. So you can come in, create another one, post, delete, all these calls work. This is a real working API backend, is what you're working with here. So we have one path made. Let's make our other path for portfolios. And we'll use Open API convention, which is portfolios. There we go. This will enable me now to create portfolios and stocks. So I'm going to create this, and you'll see a stock. Now for a stock resource, I don't want it to be name description. I'm going to have it a name to be Amazon, and a name and a ticker symbol to be AMZN. So I'm going to click save. And there we now have portfolios and stocks. So if I go to my database, you'll see there, and my database is set up. So let's add one stock to portfolio 1. So for portfolio 1, portfolio ID 1, let's add in the stock of Amazon. That will associate and add a stock called Amazon into portfolio 1. Let's go to portfolio 2. In this one, I'll put ID of 1 as well. And actually, we'll call that 2 because we don't want stocks to have the same IDs. I'm going to call this a Tesla, and we'll say Tesla. I'm going to add the path, add the data. So if I look at my database now, if I want to see, there's portfolios 2 and there's portfolios 1. All right. So I can come back and I can do again a little try of the API because I kind of want to see what this feels like. So I'll click authorize and then I'll come in and click there. Now I'll come in and say my get, and I'll say my portfolio. I'll click try it out. Portfolio 1, and I'll click my execute, and you'll see it calls right here API REST point API portfolios 1 stocks, and there I have my collection with Amazon. If I change it to 2, you'll see this one has Tesla. Yes, there's Tesla. And you'll see the different URL with the portfolio's 2 stocks. So this is our first little clip of getting started. This is how quick you can get an APIs up, a real working APIs, database built in. We're not doing anything else higher fidelity at this point. The only thing we want to do is deploy this for our users to say, and we're going to go, hey, we just got started. How's this for a start? So we're going to call it beta 1. We're going to just deploy portfolios and portfolio stocks. We're going to copy the data. I'm going to click deploy. So this takes a complete copy of all the stuff we've done and creates its own standing backend in the cloud. So you're free to give this to your customers. It's not going to affect your current sandbox of all your working APIs. It's sent out there, and now customers can play with it and not affect you. So let's give it a try. If I'm going to grab portfolios, that URL, I'm going to come over here and paste that in. Then I'm going to grab the full access, means they can create, delete, update, read. This would be if you only wanted them to read it. Let's say you had it all data filled, you just wanted them to read it, not touch it. This is create and read. They just can't delete it. So it's up to you what API you give, API key, but I'm going to use this full access key. And when I send my request, I just have to send my header. So you'll see X endpoint key. I'm going to paste in my new one here. And you'll see there is my portfolios, my tech stocks. And I'll grab this other one. And we'll paste that in. And instead of that, I'm going to call portfolio stocks 1. And you'll see there's my stocks. I can hit 2. And I'm free to, and this is not just gets, you can come in and issue posts and deletes anything you want, any of the calls. So what's nice is, this is the end of our first iteration where we just wanted to no code, just come in and build this and send this out to users to say, here's our first cut of our API. Now, most of the times you're not going to send out 2, but let's say you had a half a dozen paths. You came into your resources and had them much more detailed, many more props. And you'd say, okay, here's our first cut of the first paths. That's the idea. So that's where we'll leave it here. And that gives you an example of what iteration will be, and really check our next videos as we go to the next iterations. Thank you.